stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
Voice of the Republic is back in your ears. This is Ed.
This is Mike.
And this is Carl.
Yeah. And we are in your backyard.
In my backyard?
We're in your backyard now.
Go ahead, look.
We'll stay here. Check it out. We're there right now.
Yeah.
You sure look pretty from them here bushes. Mm.
This is all a facade. That's not real.
Yeah.
It's leaning up against the tree in your backyard.
It's all green screen.
We have it set up behind us.
My hair for the past year, green screen.
Every bit of it. It was all special effects.
Yep.
The beard, green screen.
That's a green screen beard.
Yeah.
Carl actually has a predator mouth under there. It's a goddamn pussy face. Oh, Mike did his impression of the predator. Do it again.
Yeah. You know, I've been eating French crullers almost religious, like for the past 2 months. I've been eating French crullers.
Sugar pussy.
Sugar pussy and the hizzy.
Outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we're back. We're talking backyard adventures, playtime, kid stuff, your mind going crazy in imaginative ways that most adults can't do now. Like I've actually tried. Yeah, there's something that breaks when you get older, when you discover alcohol and the opposite sex, or the same sex, if that's what you're into.
No, I'm going to have to disagree.
Okay,
I can
get down with toys right now.
Yes, I could. That's something I realized when I worked at Toys R Us. Is I was going through the Hot Wheels section, organizing and everything, and merchandising. I was like, I could play with some Hot Wheels right now. I could have a lot of fun with Hot Wheels.
Wow.
So,
I could if I were free. I could if I were free to do so, but like it's the impending next hour. You know what I mean? That sort of kills the freedom to just let go and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no, I can't do it like right now because once I'm done here, I got World Cup soccer to watch, and then I got a ton of schoolwork to do. But you know, if given the time, I can sit down and don't care.
Very interesting.
I will bust out some toys. I don't even mind.
Yeah, because I tried. Like I remember being my 20s, and I had all these, the figures on my shelf at home, and I'm like, it's been like 10 years. Let's give it a shot. And I was just like, hey, this is stupid. Like, I just threw in the towel. I'm like,
Well, I mean, it's all just basically storytelling. You're telling your own stories. It's like writing fan fiction. So, I mean, but instead of like using pictures or words, you're using toys.
Oh, absolutely. And,
I think I've always been the same way. I wasn't as hi, hon, how you doing? Good, Luke. I haven't. I did that. However, I used to just inspect them. I really did. I was always just kind of looking at them, always staring and looking at them. I loved just looking at them more than anything else. Like looking at them and drawing them and setting them up and imagining like what they could be doing.
Well,
maybe moving them ever so slightly.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ed will probably disagree, but I played with my G.I. Joes a lot, and I always had stories with them. I always had now they're climbing up this mountain, and I'd have Alpine, and I had the little knots tied into his rope so you could climb up. And a lot of my toys don't look like that, but I was all about playing with them, putting them into situations. Every time I went to the bathtub. Time for a water mission, bitches. It's like,
oh no, you bet it don't.
Yes, so I never had that problem, and even to the point, like I said, even when I didn't have toys, I would sit around on that couch I told you about, and if I didn't have things I could use to ship, fingers didn't care.
Yeah.
One of my things, and people used to think I was strange because I'd do this. I'd actually draw out like racetracks, and I'd do like my own like sort of like death race sort of thing. So it'd be like spikes and cars crashing in the spikes. And but the thing is I didn't just draw it as like here's a picture. I did it like kind of lineal in my head.
Real time. It's a real time.
Yeah.
Race.
So like, oh, here's a wreck, and I'd be drawing the track as I go, and then here's a car, and it's crashed. Oh no! And here's the winner, like at the very end. So like, it all looked like it was happening at the same time, but when I was drawing it, it was actually happening. That sort of thing. So I mean,
totally.
I don't know. Like, and to this day, like I said, I could sit down and play with Hot Wheels, but also here's the thing. Unlike me, unlike you guys, I play video games a lot. So maybe like that's the sort of thing that's kind of kept that like the playing mentality alive in my head, where like I will sit down and knock out a video game. Like I'll play it for a few hours. But of course I've had a lot more free time over the past couple of years than you guys. But it's nothing for me to sit down for a few hours and play a video game. Or when one comes out that I really really am excited about, I'll spend 24 hours straight. Like Mass Effect. Like all 3 Mass Effect games, I played for 24 hours straight, and I just beat them in one sitting. So,
well, what I do remember is that, for me, like the other major influence in my life, besides the Joes or the Star Wars, in terms of like not just playtime and toys and fun and blah blah blah, but when G.I. Joe came out, and for me it came out at the right time. So Star Wars was, we're between movies. We're anticipating Return of the Jedi, which most people knew was going to be the last one. So then what? You don't want to face that reality. And then the Joes hit, and oh my God! So I'm a little bit older. My brain is a little more complex, and I can really get into the stories. I can really sink my teeth into these situations. Plus, the characters are like, the figures themselves are like much more articulated, so they raised the bar there. And it's Army guys, which I wasn't necessarily an Army type interested person, but it's something that is a little more real world relatable, so you can actually take them to real places. And now the Fisher-Price boat that's been a spaceship for Luke Skywalker for years is now a boat, and it makes sense, and it
right.
makes more sense, and it's more awesome. So to me, oh my God, that totally took it to the next level and beyond, and then I learned to take them apart. Shit. Yeah.
It is funny you mentioned that, because Joe did allow me to. Well, it allowed me to pull in, like, my Cowboys and Indians. Suddenly had a place within the figure world because they didn't before. Mm. Like the Cowboys that were all bow-legged because they snapped onto a horse, a plastic horse.
Yeah.
Like those horses were perfect for Joe's. They were a little small, but they were perfect for Joe's, and you had like 20 of them. You get a bag. You always get a bag of them. So that they had a reason. But like for me, Star Wars didn't ride horses.
Right.
So like those worlds never got together.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I mean that's straight up Firefly shit. That's not Star Wars.
But it kind of goes against the stuff we've always talked about, because like that's more like modern kids where everything has to stay in its perfect little box by and large.
Which was me growing up. I never crossed my toys.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If I did, it was super rare. Because I'm one of those type of people that the size discrepancy would always mess me up. Like, I would hate that, and it would bother me. So, like, I would know in the back of my head, it's like, this isn't right. Like, this car is way too small for Duke.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no. This goes for the guy for Mask. Mask is way too small for Duke.
Yeah. And that was
one
one
of
of
the Transformers must have destroyed you.
Oh. I like Transformers, but, like, they definitely did not branch out. Even though, like, they did crossovers for the comic books and stuff. My G.I. Joes and Transformers never met because the scale was just it would really messed me up. So
yeah, same here. It was the scale, and that totally ruined it. And the same went for He-Man. Like I loved He-Man, but I had a couple of guys, and they were huge. Every now and then they'd make a guest appearance as one of Destro's monsters, You know, we go by my friend's house, and yeah, we would use Castle Grayskull, but by that time, my friends and I had taken the Joes into a direction that was not related to the G.I. Joe world. We pretty much had our own world, our own characters, so that opened it up to absolutely every bit of craziness that was coming out at that time. You know, we could get off-market toys from Kmart, you know, for real cheap, just because they had like one cool thing, and made sense for us. But if it was Joe time, because sometimes it's just Joe time, Joe time means no He-Man, no Mad Balls, no monsters, you know,
Right.
just Army. So, yeah, but it's funny. You talked about like, you know, it's great to like turn everything again, like turning everything into adventure spots. And I remember being at my buddy's house and playing in his sump pump, which, you know, we're in the basement. Do you know what this is, Mike?
No, I've never lived where there's basements.
Yeah. So, right. So an issue that might happen in the Midwest is, you know, when it rains a lot, your basement may take on water. So you have the sump pump. So there's a hole in the ground, and I hope this is exactly what it does, because I don't make houses. But there's this little hole in the ground, and that's where it kind of keeps control of the water that would go flow into your home through sewage, etc. So it's just a pump that would pump water out when it rains a lot, keeping your basement from flooding. Anyway, so yeah, we had Cobra Eels all trying to plant bombs up in there, and we had to have our Joes do a deep dive, and it's just two kids in the corner, the spider-filled corner of the basement, y'all. I said it, spiders. You know, there's like, you know, Dr. Demento tapes playing in the background, and we're just like, in the fucking, what is it, sewer water? Is it rainwater? I don't know. There's a bomb. There's a bomb that we need to get out of there, you know?
But there's a bomb in it.
Yeah. There may be a bomb. That's.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, it was nuts. Cool. You guys have anything else to add?
No, I think the what is it? The basement thing is stuck in my head. I didn't have that. That reality is not part of my world. Like, it was outside or inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you live in waterlocked, you know, places.
Yeah, in Florida, you just assume water's in everything, right?
Well, yeah.
So you don't even try to keep anything dry, and that's why you don't build, you know, fucking basements, because they'll just flood anyways, because it's Florida.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you dig low enough, you hit your water table. You're not allowed to dig anywhere here.
Yeah.
Floating.
You may upset a sinkhole.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that would actually, sinkholes. That would be a great terrain for Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, because construction. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
Constructicons.
Constructicons, yeah, but just dirt piles. Holy God, dirt piles, man.
Every dirt pile was like a boob to a teenage boy, you know,
Right.
when you're that age. You either want to ride your bike up and down it, or you want to get everybody on that to have a battle. Absolutely.
It is like that's like the Lollapalooza of terrain, because you were either biking or skateboarding, building ramps, clubhouses, climbing things, jumping off of it, stunting, jackassing, or you got your action figures with real caves. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
Digging for days. Digging and digging. Like, it's amazing. Like, you get dirt, and like, we're adults, so most of us are just like, oh, fuck. My hands, and I gotta wash and sanitize, and I may eat later, I may touch another human. Ugh.
Right.
But back then, it was just like, dirt pile. Like, let's. I know. I'll dig the hole faster if I use the garden hose.
And make mud. Yeah.
I got my ass beat for. Yeah, I would make mud pits, and I would just hold the hose into the ground like, and dig these fucking like golf ball acceptable holes, you know, like PGA regulation pits. That didn't go over so well with my dad.
Just blame it on the Gophers.
I just said it's Gophers.
We got in trouble once. My brothers and I got in trouble once for we got up. Our parents got us dressed. They didn't say anything to us. We stepped outside to play while my parents got ready, and we went straight to a dirt pile, and we were just like pouring it all over each other and rolling up and down and blah blah blah. And we got in a lot of trouble because ultimately the parents were taking us to Disney that day. And so we did not go to Disney that day, and punishment for playing in the dirt. But I can't imagine why they wouldn't think we would have gone. It's like it's a construction site, and your oldest boy is 11. Do you know what I mean? So the others are gonna follow. Like the kids belong in dirt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Oh well.
But
well,
do you belong in dirt? Tell us. Go over to vorradio.com. You'll get all of our contact information there. More information about our Facebook group, the Republicon, which you can call or email at any time. Head on over there, get all that information, send us feedback. We will feature it on segment 4 of our show every week. So send it to us, get on the show.
It's easy as that, you're a star.
It's that easy. I mean, we do it, so clearly you can do it.
That's right. That's right. Show some initiative, people.
Yeah.
Come play in our dirt pile. Well, cool.
Right.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna come back tomorrow, and we're actually talking about going beyond the toys, going into the role playing, and more dirt pile talk. I guarantee it. Cool. All right. So till tomorrow, may the force
Be with
that ass.